stuck.
You're stuck?
Yeah, you
Let's
confused
take
me.
you out of
I
the
was
hall.
just like,
Why are you confusing?
okay, I don't know. Because part of me is perfectionist, and you comment on my banner and you want me to add to something to it, and I just, holy shit. And I'm stuck and I need your help to move forward.
Well, you able to come to my Q&A, right? That was 4 p.m. PST. So that tells me is 7 p.m. your time, Eastern?
No,
Your
it's
Eastern.
now it's 9 a.m.
Okay. Well, today we're in different area. But yeah, banner, that will be the session 2. So those are perfect time for coming to Q&A. When we're doing the Q&A. Either you come into the Thursday Q&A, Mike would be 6 a.m. On Friday. So either way. But today we are in the we're in growth work number 4. So this whole entire week we're dedicated to the framework, because this, especially for you, some of you are in level 2. And of course, you're level 3, you definitely gotta have your framework. But I think most of you, I can see, Georgia is already done the beta. So Georgia is probably going to the public. So this, and then I know some of you are
I'm going
still
to
in
public
trial.
too.
Yeah, you're in public too. Okay, yeah, that's right. And then, so that tells me this part of the process is super important for you guys. But for you are in the trial launch, for you, I just want you guys, your goal would be just have a kind of a general idea, but you don't necessarily need to have concrete settle down for that. So that is the only thing that, so you, for you are in the level 1, you can relax, just kind of like you play along. But for people in the level 2 and level 3, this would be, I will be kind of doing the role play with you. So I'll be pretending to be your client today. And then, so let's see. Hector might be in his little Valentine. I don't know, pre-Valentine. So I don't see Hector here yet. So I'm guessing, so today we can just dive right in. We can create our, oh, somebody is talking. Let me mute you first so that way I don't get distracted. Okay. So anyhow, so as you just type in the chat for me, how many of you already at least try the homework, or after Sunday you have to revise your homework? Oh, of course, Doreen. Okay, great, perfect. Well, if the other people have hands up and you like to raise your hand, that's fine too. There's no there's no such order. If you did it yours, that's great. Okay, so I see quite a few already did yours. So my goal is to get as many people as possible, because I know I have 2 parts to help you cover. First part is your framework, and second part is to help you explore your pay membership area. So the first part is more important than the second part. If we run out of time for the second part, and that would be when you come to Q&A to finish the second part. But my main goal is hopefully I'm able to get, how many of you? 1, 2. Okay, so there's quite a few of you on my screen. So my goal is to get as many people as possible to get your framework, at least some sort of framework, and then you can fine tune it. So let's see. I know Doreen, you got help out my mic on Friday. So and then Magda, you also as well. So, and I know I have help. See, Seema was in my breakout room, and then let's see. I didn't have a chance to help Debbie or Barb or Catherine. So can one of you or Esmeralda or Christia, see if any one of you are ready to go. I can have you guys come first, because I know some of you already got help by Mike. So I'm pretty confident with his help, you guys are pretty much have some basic idea. But I see Debbie, you got head down, Barb have head down, Catherine had head up. So Catherine, you're ready to go? That's my assumption. Well, when I said ready to go, that means just trusting the process. It's not about perfection. Remember, this is not the field of perfection. This is the messy. This
Well,
get
I'm
in the
gonna
mud.
run something by you. Maybe I'll just go, and because I'm very, very, this would be so raw, and I'm
Okay,
trapped.
good. I like Rod. Actually, I don't really like people when they come with the perfections because
Okay,
that
this is
means
okay, pre-raw. Okay, and I think what it is I was very, very overwhelmed. I think I was overthinking, and I got myself so psyched out because I was looking at the big picture down the road instead of my baby steps. I thought, oh my God, I gotta, I was thinking of the $10,000 client, and
so. So
so
remember, Tony's always said, business is pretty much is a spiritual journey. I don't know if you guys realize we are kind of. I know Mike don't say it in this kind of context, but for me, since I'm a coach in this kind of area, the mindset and clarity, I know last week it was all about letting go about losing the type of client that you're looking for. That's why you don't want to narrow down because last week was narrow down your niche, right? For you to be able to narrow down the niche to reach out more people, you have to let go. You have to really dive in to just, okay, I'm going to just even narrow down even further so I can have my little smaller niche of a client I help with. So this week, once you let go, that means you're ready to move forward, right? That this week is vision. This week, we want you to dream big. So the last week you let go of limiting belief, but if you didn't get a chance to practice that, then you have to be able to let go first, and then now you can see. You got all the crap out of the way. Now your vision is clear. So that's why this week will be a lot easier if you have practiced letting go last week, either with Mimi or with Mike or any other coaches or the team leader. This part need to get taken care of. So now you can see. So, but that is okay. So if we have to, because not, not, it's like we're driving and all of a sudden our vision's all clear. You still got bugs, splatting on your window. You still need to have cleaned up, or rainstorm or snow, whatever. It's still gonna cloud your vision, and that's what we're here for. It's completely okay. So, with that said, I want to pull out the. I know I can pull out the homework. Maybe I can actually using this might be easier. I'm just trying to figure out which one is easier for you guys to see. So this one, growth work. Are you guys able to see the growth work share screen I have on the screen? Yes. Okay, great. So in this growth work, if you haven't seen yet, so this is kind of give you of a structure like Mike have shared with you. I'm going to give you some example. This is what that meant. So we give you the example in here, but I also give you a few more example like I share in the growth work video. Is I teach people what is your beginning framework. That means where are they at of your ideal client. This is where they're stuck. Their beginning point, their beginning journey, and how to do what. And so this is the end of your framework. What is that mini result that you're going to provide it? So this is when I provide some examples. I teach people who want to age well, but don't know how to balance their posture when they move. So this is kind of your framework in a way that if you're thinking about, we try to give you a lot of different frameworks so you kind of can, get some idea how that might be for your framework. So this is actually for me. I teach people who are in career transition to business with no clarity how to create certainty and confidence. So see, as you can see, I'm not promised them making millions of dollars. I'm only promised them what is their next milestone. Because people, as soon as I know at the moment I help them create that certainty and confidence, they start creating that momentum. They become unstoppable. So that will be that particular framework I'm going to be helping out. So it will be same thing. You're not promised they'll live happily ever after. It's not possible. It's fairy tale. Yeah, it might be possible maybe in 20, 30 years of time. So for you, your part of the framework is how do you help them reach to that next milestone. That is the key for your end of the framework. And the next one is I teach people who are paralyzed. This is kind of a Hector's framework from neck down with no mobility, how to move again through functional fitness. As you can see, this is functional fitness is actually his framework. And then what is the next, the end goal that he's helping people is to be able to move again. As you can see, people from completely paralyzed, not able to move, their next milestone is to be able to move again, right? As you can see, right? That's a huge part for them. So you are going to do the same exercise as I'm helping Barb and doing this part. You're going to be thinking, okay, who is your ideal client? That could be you 4 or 5 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, or even a year ago, doesn't matter, because now you are a year or two ahead of that person back then. So that's what you want to think about. Okay, who is that person, that beginning journey? And then what is that next milestone you're going to deliver? So everybody, you can start doing that. And when I'm helping Barb, okay? Great. All right. So what is the starting point for your avatar?
Okay, when you say you're out, oh, now when I say I teach women, would I say, okay, like my avatar age and what they are?
When you are thinking about that, instead of thinking is the third party, think, because you told me that was you before, right? I think it will be easier when you visualize your avatar, you bring you back to the past. Who was that Barb? It will be a lot easier because you're able to associate the pain, desire much better than thinking of some sort of third party that doesn't sound relevant to you, because then you have to make something up. So just for easy exercise, especially when you just start trying this kind of framework, I want you to think of a you a while back.
Okay, so I teach, okay, well, that's why the reason I'm
Yeah.
asking is I know who the avatar is, but do I say the whole of what, like single, a woman that came, that are 55, between 55 and 70, that have come out of and then I moved to discover why their relationship failed in the past.
Okay, so yeah, that was from last week. So we're gonna actually just
Well,
using that.
but this is where the starting point is. We
Yeah.
go back to the step. I'm going to discover the clarity. We're going to go move back to their past, like
Yes.
their past.
So who are you? You said how old were you at that time? Or
okay. Well, no, the women are this age now, but I'm just taking them back.
Yes, yeah. What was that age range? One more time.
When they were a child.
Yeah. Well, say that whole thing one more time. I just want to record it again.
Okay, well, now the age group is 55 to 70, but so I'm teaching women that are single now, 55 to 70,
Mm-hmm.
to bring clarity, awareness of patterns that where they're a starting point of their patterns of why first of all is why their relationship failed in the past.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is what they want. Okay, so tell me exactly what are they suffering? I want to know their pain point, because they're seeking.
Their pain point is that they came from failed relationships and they're blaming themselves.
Okay, failed relationship. How long they been failed relationship?
Okay, well, I mean, I guess that's the thing is that they could have one long failed one or a number of them.
That would be you. So
when that was you. A pattern of failed relationships.
Okay, how many times failed?
4
times. So when they are seeking for something to move forward, where they just got out of a failed relationship, or it's been a few years, but they recognize that is the pattern? Which stage?
It's been a few years and they recognize there's a pattern.
Okay. Because that would determine your starting point.
Okay.
Framework.
Great.
Okay. All right. So you'll be teaching somebody who's already out of the hole, but is already recognized, have some awareness.
They're not fresh out.
Okay. So you'll be helping the single woman between 50 to 70 that has already recognized their pattern of the failed relationship and ready to move forward. Okay, so now I have some clarity.
They want to move forward. Yeah, there's motivation there, but they're stuck because they don't know
how.
How.
Good. All right, so now I have a starting point. So that's good. And now I want to know the angle. What are they trying to get? since today's Valentine's perfect day for you.
Yeah. I
What
think ultimately they would love to be in a healthy relationship.
What's a healthy relationship look like for
Well,
them?
I think ultimately, but I'm not going to be, I don't want to be a relationship coach, so I guess what it is it's about if they moving in that just the end result would be believing that they could have whatever they want. If they want to be in a healthy relationship, they believe that that is their end result. So whatever their dream is.
Okay, so you're thinking about your mini milestone is to have them love themselves first, so they have that kind of
Yes.
confidence to do whatever they feel like.
Break the pattern, discover as the how to steps along the way to bring them to the point where they actually believe that they can have
Okay,
whatever.
so we found people are stuck in the pattern, and to believe the break, so they have their breakthrough is to break the pattern and believe they can have a healthy relationship,
Yeah.
and
believe
therefore they can
have-
just
Yeah.
okay, and then therefore they can just because they are already developed themselves inside enough to the point where they can just go out and then with the clarity
The
and the
clarity.
healthy attitude or whatever, they are just radiant to attract the right kind of relationship.
Exactly.
That
They
becomes easy.
magnify it back to them. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Now we're gonna fill in the gap, as you can see, from the pattern stuck to believe. So what is your first step? What they have to do, which is you. How did you get yourself out of that hole? What did you do?
Okay, and I guess that I would have stories, but I mean, I go the Reader's Digest. The short version is there was a tipping point, but there was a lot of epiphanies along the way. So there was the ebbs and flows where, and then, so it wasn't just like, years of this and then, so it wasn't like a light bulb went out, just recently. It's been up and down, but I think it was the final proud. It was actually the belief. I think it was coming to the 100% belief instead of the 50% or the 60. It was 100% belief that So it was a burning desire, and to know that you're meant for more.
Okay, so for your avatar, since they already recognize the belief, then
But they don't. They think they do, but they don't. And I
okay.
think that's the thing.
So I just want you to at least kind of trace it back, that part of the story, exactly the action step you take. I know there will be a different story, up and flow. That's complete. That's just part of life. But I would just want you to kind of narrow down to the part where there's time to pivot. You pivot. So it could be sometimes it could be months, could be years.
Could be
It could be 2 or 3 years. It's like a big the stage one, it take a long time. And the stage two, you take that momentum, it's a lot faster. So that's completely fine. I'm not looking for the time frame per se. I'm
But just
looking for that
the
pivot
final
point.
pivot, I think, would be where I'd bring them to. What my personal final pivot is just going, oh my God, I deserve to be happy. Like, and it's like, and so the pain, the pleasure at the being happy was a lot stronger than staying in the comfortable,
Okay, so what was
going
the
to the
first thing you did back then to get yourself out of that pattern?
the first
The
thing
action step. What did you do? Did you read? Did you attend Tony Robbins event?
there was a
What
lot
did you
of
do?
See, there was a lot of personal development along the way. And I think that's where I would share. And if that's my avatar, which is me, it would be the fact that there was a lot of years and years and years of personal development. So there was a lot of excelling in so many other areas, but still, for some reason, staying stuck in, still attracting the wrong relationship.
So are you saying they went to the personal development seminar, but they still stuck regardless?
Yes, if the avatar is me, I did years and years and years of personal development, and it worked in a lot of areas, but for that one area was always a fail.
Okay, so if that is the case, that tells me there was a difference between get out of a seminar and not be able to properly implement it when they go back home, correct?
but in other areas I did. I see, for me, if you're talking personally, I did, except for relationships.
Okay,
So
so
if-
since you said you got this is the part of the thing where you actually have been through the process, you got out of it, correct?
Final, yeah, it was final.
Okay,
Wake up
so
call.
that's kind of why I want you to at least open up to explore what was that first thing that you think you did. You don't have to have an accurate answer. I just want you to kind of tell me because you kind of just giving a general idea. So without knowing detail, I can't hear your
Yeah.
clues.
I mean, I guess that the final one was
The first, no, I want to know the first step. What's the first, very first thing you do to get yourself, dig yourself out of the hole?
okay.
First, very first step.
The first step in this last the final epiphany or the
No,
was a
so
lot-
basically your starting point is someone that failed the relationship multiple times. That's a
Yes.
starting point. And then recognize the pattern.
Mhm.
Something got to change. So
exactly.
that's your starting point of your avatar. Your that was past you. So
Yes.
how did you get yourself? What's the first step? Recognize the pattern. What did you do to change that? Break that pattern. What did
Okay.
action
Yeah.
step?
It was going I guess for me it was just a going to the point where I actually it was pretty I can't it was simple for me, but it might not be
See,
simple.
you're going to your mind again. I don't care if it's simple or complex.
Yeah.
Just say it. Name it. What did you do?
It was
What did you do?
it was
We
so
want to
many
know.
it was like living in the fear of the unknown was more it was staying in that stuck a stuck place and then going because of the fact that oh my God the fear of staying to the point where it just reached that tipping point where it was I don't care if you have to start from scratch again, you're going to be happy. And then
That is your starting point of your avatar. So your avatar hit the threshold.
it hit
This
the
is it.
threshold where it went, okay, it doesn't matter that
Okay.
if the unknown you could be, it just trust that you're going to be, it's going to
Okay.
be.
So once you hit that threshold, that become a fuel for you to do something. What is that something? That's the part I'm trying to get.
Okay, well, the steps, it was just moving out of that and just going and trust that things were going to fall into place and it was all going to work out, and it did.
So means first is the trust. So basically you
Trust.
develop
It was
some sort of a
belief in
faith
myself
system.
and trusting that.
Okay. So that means your first part of it is helping your avatar to build up their inner trust and faith, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of them, yeah, just like what Tony and Dean's always said, the very first frameworks, a lot of them is like it is the mindset. So you're gonna build the inner trust and faith to build so strongly, and that is your foundation. So once they have the hit to certain inner trust and the faith, what's the next step they can do? Now they trust enough, they have enough faith to have them to go out and do something. What is that next tangible action step? The
Well,
logical.
next tangible is just like well, it would the connection, the community, the loving themselves,
Okay, so they will start looking
look
for a
inside
community,
instead of outside.
looking
Out,
for the community.
a community, yeah, a community, a connection.
So you will be helping
work on
them to
themselves.
find the right community for them to connect them with them and see what they're looking for. Just like how we teach you guys how to find the right group to join past session.
Mhm.
So you'll be helping them to find the right group to join to be supportive, or you're gonna create a group for them, or I mean, guess that.
Yeah, and as long as I have supportive friends, just so they're
Okay.
not on their own.
So, okay, so you help them find that connections and then the things to watch out for and things like that, correct?
Yeah, and their passion, what make lights their fire, what they do, with their whether it's their what they do for fitness and working on themselves. So it is, and also it's also we're looking after their health.
Okay. So would you say, just a hunch, I don't say, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. Would you say the first part is inner trust and faith? Second part is get into fitness, just using Tony Robbins,
Yeah, well, it's the inner
way to
trust
do it?
first. It's within, going within and really trusting,
Okay.
and love and actually enjoying their own company too.
Okay, so those are, so I know those are a good marketing words. So the right now we're not really working on marketing words. We're just gonna get down this really the structure of it. So that's why I'm trying to get an idea on the first step. I can understand as okay, so we're gonna build the foundation, the trust and faith inside, and then the second part is getting the fitness, right? Because sometimes people could be not necessarily in their ideal way. They might not feel like they're lovable or capable or something like that. So I'm thinking, to me logically, the fitness could be a second one, and the third one is might be putting in the words, or you can help them with some loving language, or what, I don't know, I'm just making things up. I'm just thinking in the logical step using Tony's triad,
Yeah.
the
The
mindset,
loving
right?
language would be in the first as well, I think.
Okay, so then just put that in the first. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying the connection, looking for a community, that could be the third, because that is already outside of ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
connection community could be, definitely the third because
Yeah, so because right now we
Yeah.
gotta work on inside before we can look for outside. Otherwise, if you grab from outside in, it will be always around
the
decision.
first part would probably be the largest because that's also with, their inner world, their mindset, of course,
Exactly.
that whole
Exactly.
area.
Good. Okay,
is-
good. So to me, your part would be the step one is for the mind and emotion, because they have to trust and believe. That had to deal with a lot of emotion and the mindset, the inner trust and the faith. And the second part is fitness. You get them into the action, so that way they can start doing something, move forward. Because when we your emotion is emotion, so that will get them into the gear. And third, then they will have the motivation, the momentum to go out and reach out to the community, because without working inside, they won't want to do anything.
Mhm.
Would you say, at least for right now, it's kind of like a logical step for a rough draft?
Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. I have took you a little while. You're a little tough cookie, aren't you? They're a little tough cookie to crack this morning. But yeah, you're just too much in your head and you try to make it perfect. That's perfectly.
That's what I was doing. I was way too much in my head.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we need Hector, right? Knocked you guys out of freaking mind. I don't know what's missing in action, but no worry, I'll reach out to him and make sure that everything's okay. So, who want to do the next hot seat? Okay, Seema? Yes, I see your hand up. Oh, unmute.
I am at level 1. Is that okay for everybody?
Good.
Okay, thank you. So I want to teach men over 40 who have experienced emotional abuse by women how to get their confidence back and thrive in their masculinity.
Try? I should be.
Thrive.
Oh, thrive.
Thrive in their masculinity.
Thrive. Okay. Thrive in their muscular. Okay. Good. Great. So that is where you want to take them. Tell me their starting point.
Their starting point is they have lost their confidence and they are confused.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about their life. So that way I can picture, I have a scene of exactly the starting point. What happened to their life?
I suppose that can change from man to man, no?
That's why I'm trying to help you narrow down, because remember what Mike shared on Sunday, your avatar is going to be somewhere around this line of a growth. I'm trying to help you getting the starting point. You can scoop the people from this side and that side, but you want to at least have an anchor. I'm trying to help you with the anchor. Otherwise, your framework will be like, if you don't have an anchor, your framework will be like yo-yo. It's like where I can't figure it out. So that's why I need to know exactly what happened to them right at this moment. So that is
Mhm.
anchor, and then you
Mhm.
can help people from a little bit in this area, and people maybe a little bit further, but a little bit people a little bit behind. So, but anchor is the starting point.
Okay, they are
That makes sense?
involved, they are at the moment involved with a woman who is destructive for them.
Okay.
Can be a wife, a girlfriend, and they are also sons of abusive mothers.
Okay. Okay, so just to make it clear on the because that is quite of a trauma for this man, poor man, either from have abused mother and wife and girlfriend, or we can probably want to pick one of the two because based
Yeah.
on what we have talked about last week, a wife and girlfriend is already kind of two different marketing message already because wife is a committed relationship, girlfriend is not. So do you want to pick it's already in a marriage, a committed relationship, or someone just dating
I have to choose between the two.
for the beginning, for just starting out? Because I
Let's
know you're afraid to lose the other one, but you're not. I'm just asking you for
okay, let's
one.
take for the let's go for the committed
Okay.
relationship.
So have emotionally abused, say wife, but and also have past trauma of from the mom, correct?
Yes,
Emotional abuse from the mom.
shall I eliminate that too, the mother, because normally these men don't even realize that it's actually the cause of their partnership with this destructive woman is actually coming from the relationship with their mother.
Then I just go with the mother. If they
No,
don't know, that's what
I
you're.
just, I disagree because if they don't know, they won't sign up. So what you want to say is they have trouble with women, and then what you teach them is where it stemmed from and how they can change it.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. I think also that I should really choose for the relationship, and by time during my program, they will start to go back to their relationship with the mother, because if I start with that, I won't attract any man, and it will scare them too much because it's so delicate, so painful.
Why don't we
To
just start? How about this? Their starting point is they have trouble with women. Trouble
well,
with women dating. Because
can
they
just
don't know. They don't know. That's their starting point.
no,
They
they
need you
do
to
know
help.
that they have trouble with the committed woman, of course. Otherwise, they won't come to me.
Not necessary. It depends on your message. Remember, it's all about your marketing message. So that is something we're going to actually dive in deeper next week. But for you to be able to have a clear message, you have to be clear with your framework.
Okay.
And that's why
Yeah.
we try to help you narrow down because
Actually, yeah.
they don't have a clarity. They
Can I
just
add
know
something?
there's something wrong. There's something wrong. I don't know why this keep happening, right? I'm having trouble with women. And then you're going to help them with that discovery. That's your framework, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
There's actually men that my brother was an example of that. He he didn't have an abused mother at all, but he attracted women. He was a big guy, but he was husband abused. So he was actually always in abusive relationships with women.
Then that could be the beginning of the framework.
But I don't want to be a relationship coach. I want to support masculinity of these men. You see, I want to support them in their personal growth as a woman. I don't want to be a relationship coach.
So you're as a woman or as a man, you want the
Me,
helping
I
them.
am a woman, so I am supporting them as a woman.
Okay, but your avatar is a man, correct?
As a man, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
You know,
So-
maybe it will make it more clear, Atena. It's really about, I am grown up with two brothers. So
Mhm.
my mother has been always very emotionally abusive. So we suffered a lot. So I know a lot about abuse, and I know a lot about masculine mindset and what it does to women.
Mhm.
And my both brothers are now with women who are not kind to them at all. And I
Okay,
see
then
that,
okay, now you tell me something
yeah,
important. I
yeah,
want you to describe me your brother. That is the
yes,
person we should be talking about, is your brother.
yes.
Okay,
So I
so
am,
what's your
my other
brother's?
is my brother, yes. One is 49, the other is 48.
Okay,
And they
so what, tell me, so you said what is their pain point? What's their problem?
they are very insecure and not confident with themselves.
Okay, and
And
then
they are
what,
very handsome, charismatic. They
okay,
work full time, they make money, and they are very kind, good guys, you know.
but what kind of trouble they have with women?
I don't find them assertive enough. They are not strong enough. They get manipulated very easily by their partners, I find.
I'm sorry, they get what? From by their,
Manipulated
oh,
easily.
manipulated. Okay, so that could be, or I mean, that is assumption, which I don't know for sure. That could be suffer from what? What do they usually see the pattern in their relationship?
Sorry, can I get that question again, please?
Oh, just curious, what is the, I'm trying to recognize the pattern that's going on in the relationship, because manipulative, sometimes it could depends on who's talking, because that is usually is um a judgment about the other party. So we don't really know. I just want to know what is the symptom when we're talking about the problem. Like when we're thinking about the doctor diagnosis, this is what we're doing right now. Manipulation is unfortunately it's not a diagnosis. We don't know yet. That is kind of like assuming result. But I just want to know what is symptoms happening in the relationship, so that way I can hear what is causing the problem. So if you can
I like
describe
what
the symptom.
Barb's saying is now. She says they give their power away. Exactly. That's how I can describe it.
So they
They
will
give,
say yes. So power is also a metaphor. So when we say given the power, we're talking about they are saying yes to everything, never say no to the woman, correct? Just to please the woman. Is that what that power away means?
yeah.
Okay, great. So now I have some clarity. So they're a yes men. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then and then they are in their 40s, 30s. You say you said 40s, right?
Yeah,
40.
49, 48.
Okay, 40s. Okay, we'll just do a 40s. Okay. And then what other kind of problem that we seen with everything they say yes to? They have no confidence, they're insecure themselves, and then they are lack of self-love.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Self-love.
All right. So all right, so that we kind of have a kind of like a rough idea. So what is the end result that you say you're gonna help them with confidence and thrive in their masculinity, correct?
Masculinity, yes.
Okay, so
Mhm.
that's for me, so you can see. um, all right, great. All right, step one, how do we fill that gap? From yes, yes, yes to the first thing to stop saying yes?
Putting boundaries,
Boundary. Okay, put healthy boundary.
yes.
Okay. So you'll be helping them with the words, language to choose, and still respectful, I'm assuming. Okay. All right. Now they learned how to say no, create a healthy boundary. What's a step two? They already practiced this enough. Now they have a little bit of a certainty. They know how to say no. They also have to keep that healthy relationship, and the person start to respect them a little bit more because they learn to say no. And the other part is that, oh, this person's standing up for himself. And then what's the next step?
I have to think about that.
Okay, so how about I'll share a little bit of what Tony have shared in Dates of Destiny. So it's based on the event the seminar I went to. I seen how Tony coaches somebody. Actually, it was just what you described. It was a yes man, and that person eventually have affair because it could not get that security from the community relationship, and always yes men and yes ma'am, yes ma'am, and then never feeling that low confidence. So the second thing, from one other thing I have seen him coach it is to have the person, to the husband, to enroll some sort of a masculine exercise, like cardio boxing, tai chi, taekwondo, or whatever that is, to bring out more the masculine energy. Because you, as you know, Tony, you have to get in the physical because motion is motion. We gotta get that rapid, like the quick change, with that tone of voice. Because when they're doing those masculine, taekwondo or whatever, they got or listen to some sort of music will bring the masculine energy out of them. And then the reason why I know so much, because that was in my relationship. I was that person. I was guilty. I'm guilty. But that was me in what, 2007. That was me, 2007. I was a very scary woman. You guys probably didn't want to come near me. That's who I was, because I was raised in a very abusive, emotional, physical abuse household when I grew up. So that's kind of how I have to develop myself, to correct myself, because I don't want my husband to fear of me. It's like, what's going on? Because I told myself I don't want to become like my father, and then I turned out to be, even though I didn't know it. And until I reflect on my relationship, then I realized, oh my God, I just act like my father. And then that's when my growth journey to begin. So that's kind of how we have been working through that. And then, my husband would bring more masculine energy in him by doing muscular exercise, getting physical. So, and then also one of the exercise is incantation. Is to say, you gotta have some sort of ritual. That's part of the thing. It could be that, I don't know, I'm just throwing out there. It could be something for you to explore, because I know it has been helping. And then that would be it. That would be one of them. And then assuming this is what you're gonna explore, they have developed some sort of masculine ritual for them to get into the masculine energy, because now they're strong. And then you help them, the first you help them build that security, which is that boundary, healthy boundary, and you build up the masculine energy by exercise, the fitness. And now what?
But for me, the most important thing is that they get stronger emotionally, you see, because
emotion is emotion though. If you don't get them physically strong, they can't get emotionally strong. Because we are, because just like when we're sitting there and sitting here and learn, eventually you fall asleep, you're not moving around. So that's why you see Tony's like, make it move, make it move, make it move, right? And you say, yes, yes, yes. And then your body wake up, your spirit, you're alert. Because what do you just tell your mind? Focus. Come on, focus. And that's how we're able to get ourselves aligned quickly. Get the mind. Otherwise, the mind will drift off to la 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 here and there. Athena saying something, and then until I call your name, I got your focus, right? Like I know Catherine. When I call her name, she probably shake her pants. Like, don't call me. I'm not ready. So, but that's what I meant by sometimes it's your program. I'm just saying from what I have learned from Tony, and since I was in the program, and then he make us move, even though I don't want to move. And sometimes, okay, I see you. You sit on the couch. I was like, what? How did they freaking see us? But I was laying on the couch. I don't know if they have so many camera, but it would get us up. And because I was, oh crap, it caught me. So whatever the program you're doing, you want to make sure the movement is there, and that's
Okay.
when you're able to move their emotion. But then,
Yeah,
but yeah, that has to be in part of that your program.
that's a good idea. Thank you. I never thought about that. But for me, one of the most important thing in this program is really enhancing their awareness, how the female mindset works from the nature, how we think, and that they recognize that. So on the one side, on the general female mindset, to enhance their awareness about it, because there are so many men who just don't know and realize how women think, how we perceive things. That's not for making them a nice guy. That's for helping them to protect their masculinity and not to give in to women, because that's not a good thing, and it's not good for women either, because we women, we like masculine men. We don't like men who are nice guys who please us all the time, and generally
Exactly.
spoken.
If I would think the third step is just watching my husband have grow from that. I have seen sometimes he will self-sabotage, just like he didn't think he's doing good enough. And that's usually when people have insecurity coming back. So for me, the language is, or even have a little celebration as have them get in the routine, celebrate their growth. It could potentially be a step that you can explore, because without celebration we always feel like we're just stuck in where we were. So that's kind of what I think the third logical step would be. Is the first step you put in the healthy boundary, because remember what Tony said with the 6 human needs, the first needs, most everybody, we have to have some sort of certainty. We all need certainty. So once you help them put in a healthy boundary, they have certainty, they are safe. Now they have that certainty built up, and then you step 2 is help them with bring out muscular energy through fitness, and third, have them celebrate. Make sure they recognize their progress.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
that sound?
Yeah, that's great. So one side, the awareness about female mindset, but also I want to teach them about destructive females, meaning they have a personality disorder, or they are
That would be part
mean.
of this. When we talk about those 3 steps, those are
Yeah.
the major. There's a major pivot
Major.
point, and then with your what you just described, those are the detail, and that's when you can tuck it in to see if that fit into your module 1 or module 2 or module 3.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could possibly what you just described is in your module 1. It sounds like it's in that mindset framework.
All right.
Self boundary, healthy boundary.
So number 1 was learning to put boundaries, right?
Yeah, healthy boundary. Yeah.
And then the second one was
muscularity through fitness. Am I just giving them your whole framework?
and then the celebration, right?
Yeah, celebrate the progress. That's huge.
Yeah. So as a last thing, not to be too long. So I teach men over 40 experienced emotional abuse by wife to get their confidence back and thrive in their masculinity. Is that still a good framework?
So that is, yeah, that framework, of course, the wording itself, that can tweak and refine, but I think you got a general idea down. So you will be helping them through thrive in the masculine through fitness, whatever that particular part, we can refine that, but at least you have a general idea what that framework would look like.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Later, whatever you just described, it just need to be pretty in words that we can fine tune in the Q&A. Cool.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I have about 6 more minutes. I can shoot for another one. I'm ambitious. Georgia, let's go.
Okay. Okay, so I have written that I teach women. Oh, did I unmute? Yes. That I teach women, non-native speakers of English who want to start their online business but aren't confident enough to speak the language, to gain greater confidence in their ability to use English and start speaking to their customers with ease.
You guys really like to talk about my past, don't you? That's another version of me.
I know. I know.
You're talking about my growth journey? All right, great. You guys are bringing my past out. Okay, so how old is your avatar? Just to
Sorry?
start. How old is your avatar? The age
Oh.
range.
Over 50.
Over 50.
Woman over 50.
Okay, great. So tell me their pain, their embarrassment, or whatever that's going on in their life, so I have a better idea of their state, emotion, and mindset. Who were you? Who were you back then?
That was me actually. Surprisingly. Surprise.
Here,
It's
go ahead,
surprising.
pass. It's a safe place for us to practice our past. I share with my dark age. So
Yeah. The pain point is that suddenly she realized that it is a little bit problem to speak in the language in the online business because that's completely different than the general English, and she realized that people do not understand her, so she just she is stressed and she doesn't want to speak.
okay. So when people say they don't understand her, what did people say to her?
Well, there were some nasty comments that shouldn't be speaking in English if I can't speak properly.
Now we get into the emotional state. That's why I've asked what I ask.
Yeah.
I have people said that say this with me, repeat it. Work. There's an R in there. It's like, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
No, thank you. So, the reason why I have you guys describe those scenarios is so we can understand the emotional state that your avatar is in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That happened to me a few times. Unfortunately, that happened to me even with my husband, who had the need to correct me all the time. So, and that didn't help.
Okay. So basically, the pain point is being correct a lot. So if you don't speak proper English, don't speak. Correct?
Practically, that's got in my mind. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's what we talk about, the limiting belief built up. If you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
speak proper, don't speak. Okay. Because
And
that happened to
even-
me before.
Yeah, and because that was happening before that, I sort of had that problem, but I got over it. I have been teaching the language for almost 14 years, and suddenly 2 years ago, when I started this getting in the online business, I got in the situation that I was suddenly I started dealing with more with the Americans, and there is completely different pronunciation, completely different accent, and I was like, well, I can't do it because they don't understand me, I don't understand them. That was like, and I think that there are quite a few people like that.
Yes, totally agree. Experience it, know how you feel. So you're technically like talking about it was me a few years back as well. So that's their pain point. So where do you want? So you want to take them to be where they can confidently speak, and then basically they become, I don't know, maybe I'm describing me, is like become more carefree regardless if they make a mistake. They just they don't care.
That's
right? They don't
exactly
care.
that's exactly it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly it.
So I had to went through that stage myself. So
Yeah.
I got corrected even from past clients. I was like,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah,
all
if
good.
they, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. If someone
that
will
is where you want
feel,
to take them.
yeah,
Okay, great.
if someone will feel that they need to correct them, fine. Okay.
Okay. All right. So they just laugh off the incorrect grammar, and then they just speak freely, speak their mind, and
Yep.
then they feel confidence on camera and
Yep.
talk publicly regardless their spoken English. Correct?
Yep, exactly.
All right. So now step 1. What did you do?
Confidence. First step.
Build confidence. How do you help them build confidence? Give me a little concrete.
With body language. I was,
Language.
yep, body language.
Oh,
body
body
language.
language. Body
Yeah.
language.
Just the posture in front
Posture.
of mirror, and I was talking to the mirror.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Body posture.
Yeah.
And language. Okay, great. So
Yes.
once that is the foundation of it. So
Yes.
once we have the language, with I'm assuming the tone of voice go in as well. So they build that confidence with the
Yeah, yeah,
engagement.
yeah.
Okay, great. And then so second part, stage 2 is
Second stage 2 is the limiting beliefs, which is mostly it's about mistakes and accent from my experience. Not only me, but other people as well. People are worried
Oh.
about, and I was as well worried about my mistakes and about my accent.
so would that okay, so I'm just thinking, would this particular part would be step 1, the part of the step 1?
No, it will be step 2.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm saying you said it's a mindset again. So that tells me it's to be able to recognize the mistake and laugh it off.
Sorry, again?
So you said the step 2 is mistakes, to recognize the mistake, and you're going to teach them the skills to correct that, or what is it then?
No, just not to be worried about.
Okay, so
Because that's,
to me, that is still part of the mindset.
Okay.
Because for you to be able to recognize, not worry about, isn't that to help you build part of building confidence? Because you have to be able to recognize the mistakes and then not to worry about it, and
Yeah.
then let it go, and then your confidence build up, isn't it? How that works?
You're probably right.
Because I don't know. That's kind of how I did it for my. I actually, to tell you the truth, I had to first realize I did have some mistakes, and then I recognize it and be okay with it, and then I practice the language, training myself up, and
Oh,
then put in the
definitely.
body,
Yeah.
to
Okay.
put in the body language. So to me, it seems like those are the same module. They have to be a bundle together,
Okay.
because that is training your internal, right?
Mhm.
And then the second step, you might want to teach some skills, because I'm sure
Yeah.
they would like to get better, even though they recognize,
Yeah.
I can care less, whatever you guys say, blah, blah, blah. But, internally, we still want to get better, right? On the
Yeah.
language
Yeah,
and things like that.
Yeah. There are a few tweaks which can make the language much easier to be understood by other
Exactly.
people, and that's what I'm going to teach.
Yeah. And then for me, I know is I'm starting to use simple words that are similar to complex words. So
Mhm.
because I want to sound, what was the word? Sophisticated, intelligent. So if I'm not able to pronounce the difficult words, I'm not going to use it. If that's going to cause me tongue twisting to the point where it doesn't sound right, I wouldn't use that word. I will find other similar words to replace that. And that is helping me with my tongue, because that is roll with my mother tongue better.
Yeah.
So that could be something you can teach. How do they trade a different words for the same meaning of whatever that very long words that they're supposed to say? It might sound smart, but they can't say that word. Then just find a different words instead of trying to butcher that word.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be something, the trick that you can teach them. And now they're gonna be on camera and they start speaking, right? Wouldn't that be confidence on camera type of thing? I don't know if that would be the thing, but it just sounds like now you get them to practice the language.
Yes.
I think now is the time to do it.
Yeah. Just things like that, like how to create questions, because people non-native speaker, we have a quite often problem with create question, how to create open questions, because that's what you want. If you want to talk to your clients, you want open questions, stuff like that.
Yeah. So so your third step, what would that be to help them? Like for me, I know that's when I start talking in front of the camera to help me get out of that, because I have to be able to talk again.
Okay. You think that would be like step?
Either talk to people one-on-one, like one-on-one private practice, to
That's what is
maybe
that?
non-speaking, non-native speaker to start,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then start to the next level of growth. Talk to a native speaker one-on-one. Third step, talk to the public, or in a smaller group, the native speaker, and the
Okay.
final would be talk to public. Could be like that with your third step, with the little.
Okay, I have it as a part of the workshop. Is the part of it is practice speaking in the breakout rooms, and part of the long workshop, the 8-week workshop, is 21-day challenge on speaking. So
Oh, good.
so
Good.
that's
I mean, is that, yeah, that's kind of what I want you to see, how small of a step that gradually can help them move from, because sometimes if you give people too big of a jump, they won't do it. They don't feel safe. Like what Tony
Yeah.
said, the very, very first step of success cycle is certainty. How do we create a massive certainty on our everyday life? And that's what I could see. Okay, if I were hurt, I was getting laughed at in public by my manager in front of the whole entire, office. And at that time, I was pretty hurt. And then it's like, well, you laugh at me in front of the team I'm coaching. How am I gonna freaking lead them? So I had to rebuild my confidence. So at first, those are the kind of steps I have to do. I start from talking to people in one-on-one in a Zoom meeting. It's private. I'm not embarrassed myself in public, because remember, public was that humiliation I got. It was the pain point. I didn't want to quickly go there to go speak in public again. So my very, very beginning of step is talk to people one-on-one. You get comfortable with talking to people one-on-one, and if I'm fluent now, I get that confidence, and now I'm open to speak in a small group. And once I got comfortable with speaking in a small group, now I can speak public. I can do reels, I can do, whatever on my profile. Before, I would not do that at all.
Yeah, actually, for me, it was, I was in a Facebook group, and I started more communicating and talking like over Messenger with people from the group, without camera, because if they didn't see me, that was fine. If I made mistake and they asked me 4 times, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? I was like, so they could see, that I was, they couldn't see that I was things, and I was like, okay, I will spell it for you, and so I was like gaining the confidence through speaking to people without a camera first.
See, everyone's a little different, so that could be part of the framework that you're doing. What I was sharing was my growth journey, how I got myself out of the hole, but that could be your step 3, how, as you can see, how you can break down even further for that step 3, and that would be kind of your little module for that little 1, 2, 3 on the step 3.
Well, thank you very much.
That
That's
works.
brilliant. Didn't think of it from
I did not expect you guys to freaking have me disclose all my past. I got Doreen disclose my week, my time in my 30s, and then I got what who was that? I already freaking forgot. And then it disclosed from the emotional CMA abuse relationship, and now with your non-English speaker. You guys. Yeah. I better get off this.
I love you too.
I know, right? Well, I hope this is helpful.